how are you doing? Good to see you, old boy. Yes.
Really good. Boys, what about bingo? Have you ever been to bingo?
Once.
Once you went?
I was working in Spain. I went once. I was filming.
Enjoy the experience?
It was different. You've got to try everything once, don't you?
Yeah, well, more than once for me. What about you?
It's amazing, because the only time I've ever played was in Spain as well. I had a package holiday at 1 o'clock in the morning. They're playing bingo by the pool, and they turned around and went back home again.
No, you shouldn't have. Well, I used to go with my mum, ladies and gentlemen, my late mum, and I absolutely loved it. The excitement, the buzz that you get there in the bingo hall, and the characters that you get there too. Well, we've got a gentleman who's won Bingo Caller of the Year here. Let's find out more from him as we welcome Carl Sith. Hello, Carl. Hello. Lovely to have you here.
Sorry, let's worry.
Bingo Caller of the Year. Oh,
That's
tell us a
right.
bit about that then, Carl.
Well, it was a competition that's held every year. It's sponsored by the National Game Association of Britain, and they find the best caller in the country every year.
And you won it.
I won it, yeah, this
Did it
year.
make you feel good? Did you jump up and down, or...?
Well, it made my job worthwhile, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's see if you're a worthwhile shopper. So
OK,
stick your bag out and
show you what I've got.
have a little bit of a go there. OK. And look at all these goodies, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, we've got a competition coming up later. Chance for you to win a £300 gourmet... Oh, lovely, lovely hamper. That's going to be a bit nice, isn't it? Tell us what you brought along here.
Right, well, I've got chicken thighs here because my wife's Indian. She's Hindu. She doesn't eat beef. And she likes to cook curries and that sort of thing. And we find that chicken thighs taste best. I've also got sweet potato here because I was, you know, shopping around in the supermarket and I thought, sweet potato, people eat sweet potato, why? You know, let me try it. Might be nice. And then I came across a leek. Now, I don't like leek, but I thought I'd challenge you and see...
How did you find the cheese? How did you come across that, then?
Well, just...
a bit of cheese. How much did you spend along at the cauliflower and the pepper, Carl?
This all came to £5 and 4p.
Yeah, we're not going to moan about that. Like that, Chef? Are you happy with that?
Yeah, lovely. Some great stuff there. We're going to have a whale of a time.
Oh, interesting things. Now, you wouldn't have won your position if it wasn't for the next person coming on the show, would you?
That's right. I'll tell you why. It's because she was one of the judges.
She was one of the judges. Ooh, serious stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And also a former Bingo Caller winner. Please welcome Mandy Gordon. Your gang, isn't it? Oh, how are you, man? Lovely to have you on the show.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Oh, what was the special qualities about him then, Mandy?
Well, you've met him. He's well-spoken. We just thought he'd be a good ambassador for the bingo game for the next 12 months.
Yeah, that's good. And he goes off. He's got a few things to come there. He's got to go off to Vegas and all that,
yes,
hasn't he?
He's got that all
going to tell you all about that a little bit later on. Let's see what type of shopper you are then, Mandy. Give it a good old shake for us. Oh, now, what have we got here? Special carrots, Mikey?
I bought Chantenay carrots because they're the family's favourites, the sweet carrots, but we just run out of ideas of how to cook them.
Jazz them up a little bit.
Bought lamb chump chops. We usually cook with either chicken or beef, and I'm not quite sure what to do with the lamb, so I thought I'd bring it along. Maybe a few ideas, and these are just general things that we've got all the time in the fridge that you just have all the time, you don't know what to do with.
Well, run of beans, a few plums in there, onion and potato. How much did you spend?
£5 and 2p.
Oh, yes. What do you think, Rossi?
Yeah, I think there's plenty of opportunities there. We'll have a good think,
Yeah, there's lots going on, he's saying. Oh, I bet you can't wait, can you?
Can't wait.
Oh, 24 carrots, 24. 2 lamb chops, 2. 17 run of beans, 17. I'll be back in a moment, all right?
Well, you're not going to win it next year, that's for certain.
I'm too rubbish. What are you going to do for Carl over here, then?
Well, there's so much you can actually do with that. We're going to make... I think we'll probably use the chicken scallops. We take the bone out of one, we make like a teriyaki grilled with the second one, and with the other 2, we don't do too much work. We perhaps just chop those in half and make a cream sauce, perhaps a cauliflower cream sauce. Obviously, going to do cauliflower cheese, so we'll stick that perhaps in half the pepper. We've got to make some kind of soup. Out of the bone spare here, I've got some chicken stock there, so we've got lots of vegetables. So we make a soup, and then perhaps a little stir-fry with half of that and the leek. I mean, there's so much you can do.
I know.
We couldn't possibly have a special dispensation and an hour to do this, could we?
No, I'm sorry. Shall we give him an
that.
hour? No! 20 minutes, that's
we
the
ain't got a lot
rules,
of
isn't it?
chance today, mate.
How does that sound?
That sounds great. It sounds delicious already.
Yeah, OK. Well, you'll be helping him, so it will all turn out wonderful, Carl. But what about you then, Mandy? Let's find out what Ross has got.
Terribly healthy, all this, isn't it? You can understand the sylph-like figure.
Yeah.
We've got the hero, I guess, here are the 2 lamb chops. So the first one, we're going to take the plums, and because there's not a lot of plum there to make a pudding, we're going to make a spicy, rich plum glaze to go with that, with some nice fresh green beans.
OK.
The other one, potato and lamb, obviously says hot pot. Won't be as good as Betty's, obviously, but we'll try.
Yes.
We're going to sort of deconstruct it and put it back together. We're going to do something interesting with the beans later in a sort of a salady type way, and we're going to make carrots vichy. And we'll find out what those are later.
Sounds fabulous.
Sounds good. OK, both our bingo experts or callers are delighted, but how will they feel in 20 minutes? We'll find out. As I say, ready, steady, cook. OK, up and away. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a competition. Yes, I know all of you out there thinking, what competition? A £300 hamper could be yours. Leslie's asking you the simple cooking question today, and you could win that prize. But first, it's over to Brian. A couple of chickens going to be in the old teriyaki. We've got stir-fries going here. We've got cauliflower cheese. We've got another one that Bone's going to be taken out. It's going to be interesting to see how he bones that. Over here, 2 different styles of lamb. One's going to be in a kind of Betty's Lancashire hot pot, I think Ross referred to it as. That's going to be interesting. Another one's going to be cooked down with a lovely plum glaze. We've got the runner beans in the salad. We've got vichy carrots, and we've got some delicious potatoes. About 10 dishes in all. Lots of lovely ideas, all happening in 20 minutes. What do you want? It's all here, isn't it, guys? OK, chef. What are we starting off with here, then,
I'm just going to cut my meat up so I know what I've got. That's for teriyaki. That I'm going to bone, and this for my little cream stew. So let's get a pan on now. And put a pan on for the old soup. That's that one.
OK.
We want a little stew pan for the chicken sauté that our students in the audience will all know about now.
OK, then. Now,
Let's get a bit of butter in there.
And do you eat chicken how many times a week, would you say, chef?
Well, if we discount fried chicken on the way home, about once. If we count that, about 10 times.
Oh, well.
No, I don't do too bad. I quite like chicken these days. It's, you know, you've got to buy the right chicken. But yeah, it's good stuff.
OK, now what about boning here, chef? Tell us the secret of that.
This knife's perhaps a little bit large here, and we're quite lucky with this piece here, because it's showing us that bone quite well. So we just go around, and all you just feel around the end of the bone.
Sure.
Because we're going to tap it out a little bit, it won't matter if we made a few extraneous cuts. We just don't want to cut through. And then we're going to put some breadcrumbs on that as well. So
lovely.
That'll make it into a nice little scallop, will that?
Now, I know that you deal with a lot of free-range meat in the restaurant, in your restaurant, chef.
Yep.
What about people buying it? What should they look for? What do you recommend?
Well, you've got to really look for a label these days to get free-range. And you've got to understand the problem is some labels are a little bit... they take you down the wrong direction. They suggest. There's the old red tractor. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Farm assured. Make sure it's British. And if you can make sure it's local and being free-range, so much the better. You're just going to read the label and see what it actually says.
Find out a little bit. Or you've got the consumer desk in your supermarket, and we tend to walk past them and think, what are they standing there for doing nothing? They're there for you guys. Any complaints, anything that you want them to get in, they're there for you. They want to make sure that we get the right products in. OK, we're talking about a little bit of the old teriyaki. What have we got there? Soy, honey, chef, and...
Yes, I got honey, soy, I got some sesame seed oil, so that's... How are you doing there, chef? All right?
OK,
so
lovely.
That's looking good.
He's done very well. And normally we're going to marinate that for, well, we'd like to do it overnight. It's going to be about, what, 5-6 minutes, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
5-6 minutes is better than no time at all. How are you feeling? Comfortable there?
OK. Do you want to see it with these little bits here?
No, that's fine, OK. I've turned the
then.
board over, Ainsley. So
OK.
I've turned the board over.
OK, good point there. Oh, everybody out there, if you're young, you're cooking at home and you're thinking, oh, I can go and make me sandwich after you've got raw chicken on it. Wash it down or turn the board over as the chef's just done, all right? You don't want raw meat on there. Let's find out how Ross is getting on with his potatoes there. Before we get into the tatty, tell us about the old mandolin, chef.
Well, the old mandolin, in fact, it's called a mandolin. You think, why is it a mandolin? It's a large square object. Originally, it's an Italian thing called a mandolin because it used to have strings on it for cutting pasta. It looked like a mandolin. And in fact, the word in Italian is chitarra, like guitar.
Ah, right.
And we use it for basically for slicing and shredding and what have you. Just browning those off. I'm getting these onions to go.
And would you recommend someone going out and buying one? 'Cause they're not cheap, Ross.
No, they're about 100 quid.
Yeah.
And it's really very useful in a commercial kitchen. The trouble is, if you buy... There are cheaper Japanese ones, but they... Watch your fingers.
Watch your fingers.
They are
All
lethal.
Right. They do come with a little attachments to protect your fingers, but we tend to leave them in the back of the cupboard, yeah. Be careful, guys. They're out there. They're a fraction of the price. You probably pick them up 10, 15 quid or something.
If that, yeah.
OK,
yeah,
not very expensive, but you do get lovely sliced potatoes and stuff like that. 15.5 minutes to go, gentlemen.
Gosh, where does
so
it
what
go?
are we making with these tatties
right,
then?
I'm just going to get Mandy now to desist from those. And I'm going to give you a cutter. I want you to cut some circles for me very quickly.
Oh, lovely. OK.
I think that's probably about the right size. Just bin the rest. OK, put them on your board, and I just want loads of round circles, OK? Thank you very much.
Wasn't that nice? Hey, oh, look at these. And do you like these carrots then, Ross? What are they called?
Yeah, you can bang them into the blanching water if you would.
OK, then, straight into the blanching water. Well, they'll all cook at different times, so we'll wait till we get a good old... Here we are, pull them all there. It's like a bit of a little factory going here, isn't it, eh?
We've got a system somewhere, I'm sure.
So how long have you been bingo calling, then?
I've been calling bingo for about 3 years.
Yeah.
But I've actually worked at the club where I work for 10 years this year, actually.
Ah, nice people.
Fabulous people.
Yeah. I know that there's a couple of students around where I live, and they go out on bingo night. It's the happening thing at the moment, isn't it?
It's actually become quite popular in the with students because it's a reasonably priced night out.
Yeah.
You don't finish too late. You have a chance to meet up with your friends, have a chat, and possibly take home more money than you went out with, which never happens when you go to the pub.
Oh, this is true. This is true. Have you ever won anything then, Mandy?
I don't get a chance to play. I'm always on the other side of the microphone.
Oh, I know, just calling them out. But you have a certain style, though, don't you?
It's each to their own. Everyone, depending where you're from as well.
Sure,
what goes down well in one area will go over the head of somebody, somewhere else.
Absolutely. Anyway, all right now, darling, we'll talk again. Nice catching up with you, Mandy. Chef is dipping these in butter. Then one of the reasons he's cut them out into a disc is what? Let's find out from Ross.
Well, you know, Betty's hot pot has a sliced potato lid.
Yeah.
Well, there's a thing called pomano, you see, which is sort of stuck together, and they sit together with starch and a bit of butter. And I thought perhaps we'd try a little one of these to top up, rather, deconstruct it.
Beautiful. Now, you mentioned Betty's hot pot. Is that someone that you know called Betty, or what?
We all know Betty. No.
Yeah, Coronation Street.
Exactly.
There you go.
Nation's favourite. Yeah. There you go. Super.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. OK, in there, slices. Yes, you don't need to cut out little discs. Ross is getting a little bit chefy there. And the other bits of potato, of course, you can keep. You can make a soup or something like that. I don't quite know what he's going to do with it. Now, what about the old chanterelle carrots then, Ross?
The Vichy's, we're going to blanch them first because we don't have time. The idea is you cook them very slowly with a little bit of water, some butter and some sugar, a little bit of orange juice, and they cook down into being really, really sweet. But we're slightly short of time, so I'm not quite sure how they're going to turn out. We've got the lamb cooking with the plums here.
That pepper got right up my nose.
I think the lamb is done there. Pull the lamb out so it can rest. Very important so it stays nice and tasty. Now, the plums there, we're going to add a little red wine, some red wine vinegar, a little sugar, some spices, and make a sauce.
What type of sugar, Chef?
Ooh!
A little brown, please. Brown soft. And I think perhaps a little bit of cinnamon or thereabouts. Now, it's important to put the vinegar in as well, because that's going to bring us up, cut down on the being over sweet.
Lovely. Cinnamon, here we are. And there's your cinnamon for you.
Thank you so much.
Lovely. Well, I'll go down and see Brian. I'll come back, and later on when we return, we'll see how Ross is getting on with all his beautiful plum sauces and everything. But first, we're down here with Brian. He's cooking the disc. He's got these big, fat discs of sweet potato, char grilling them in the pan. They'll cook there beautifully. We've already got the chicken that's going to be cooking down. What's going on here then, Chef?
OK, so we've got our little... this will be our cream sauce here, leeks. We've got white wine here, we've got the chicken. I'm trying to cook this here, but I'm not getting this cauliflower cooked very quickly.
It's not coming up quick enough,
but it will be fine in a second.
OK.
This is to just make our little salad. We're going to grill this when I've got these grilled over. How long have we got?
Oh, about 11 minutes now.
We're OK, we're not too bad then. These are just nice. I'm going to put these in the oven in a minute just to bake, with perhaps a little bit of that Maldon sea salt on top of it. And use this pan again for the cauliflower. We've got our stir fry here. Our soup's on the way. Right, that's it, Chef.
Right, now, you're going to be making some breadcrumbs,
I believe, that's
right. Do you
right.
want to trim that down a little bit more then, Carl?
This one here?
Yeah, let me show you. Just trim off this. Because these are the sort of tough bits. He probably doesn't want those. So how did you get into bingo calling on it?
Just put chuck the cheese on, put it with the breadcrumbs.
It's quite reactions, actually. I used to be an actor, and I was between jobs, and my sister came to live with me in London, where I was staying.
Yeah.
And she wanted a summertime job, so I took her down to a local job centre. And it was while we were looking for a job for her that I came across an ad for a bingo call. So I thought, well, between acting jobs, why don't I try this out? You know, I've got my stage, my audience, my ready-made microphones.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought about doing. And,
And what's the secret, you know, behind being a good bingo caller then?
well, I think the most important thing is clarity of voice. You've got to be able to control a session. You've got to be interesting. You've got to get people interested in the game, playing.
Yeah.
And you've got to know what you're doing, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't know what you're doing, they won't
You've
believe
got to
you.
be able to count as well, ladies and gentlemen.
Mate. I can't survive that. So tell us, there's the old style is legs 11 and all that. And
Yes.
Doctor at the gate, number 8.
Seaside bingo, as I call it.
OK, so what is it like now? Give us an idea.
It's
How would
very,
you
very
call
different.
Call out 4 or 5 numbers for us.
Well, it's very different. If we have a game like the national game, it's played across the country,
Nationally.
and it's played for massive, massive money, £200,000 sometimes. So you've got to call it
money.
very, very seriously. You mustn't have any laughs or jokes because people want to concentrate on playing bingo.
Yeah.
And so, for example, I'd say, national game, folks, straight full house. Get your pens at the ready. Here we go. Your first number is 44. All the 4s, 44.
Yeah.
Without waving the knife at that.
Yeah.
33. All the 3s, 33.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
That type of thing. OK, just nice and bright and changing into kind of a different voice.
That's right. Yeah, altering the level of the voice. Sort of thing,
sure.
Keeping
OK.
it interesting.
Oh, we'll talk in a minute again. Chef, enough cheese in there with the breadcrumbs?
No, do a bit more, please. We're going to make a really cheesy lining on this because we've got all that wonderful cheese, so we may as well use it.
OK, and char grilling off the cauliflower too, guys, OK? He's got that in there. Any spices or anything going to be mixed with that,
I'm going
Chef?
to perhaps make some, when I've got it going, I'll put a little bit of curry powder in there, perhaps a bit of vinegar and oil, and leave it so it's like a little salad-y dish.
Yeah.
And it'll be warm, it won't be hot, but it won't be cold either, so it'll be really...
Do you want me to carry on cutting
I
these
think
down?
it's enough, actually. I think we're probably going to have enough there. 8 minutes to go. So what did you have to do in order to win this bingo caller of the year? Was it?
Well, the competition split up into 3 different sections.
Yeah.
The first section consisted of my knowledge being tested, legislation, games and regulations in the bingo industry.
Oh, wow.
I was tested by a panel of 4 judges.
Yeah.
The second section was basically having to entertain the crowd for 3 minutes. So I sang part of a joke and I sang part of a song and I told a joke as well.
And did you dress up to sing the song and
I
all
was
that?
wearing the cool white suit, the zoot
The
suit.
white suit.
Yeah.
Have you got a white suit, Brian?
I think I gave it away, I think he's got it.
And then the final section was basically calling your numbers, a page of bingo.
Oh, really? Yeah. So, Mandy, I've got to ask you, was it the white suit that swung the vote for a car?
I wouldn't quite call swinging, but it was swing!
Was it? Yeah, well, you gave her a little bit. Ooh, swing!
Great.
Swing! There you go.
Just get me
We'd
some
like about
flour,
that.
please.
Flour.
OK, flour's just there.
Self-raising
You've
flour?
got self-raising plain flour,
flour, any
probably.
flour, not a problem.
Plain flour.
That's
Let's get
OK.
some plain flour.
OK, we've got 7 minutes to go. The chef's char-grilled off the cauliflower there. Very easy. You can put that in there. You can put it in a dry frying pan with
Onto
the
a-
char-griller because
into a
the
bowl,
little
into that big bowl down
grooves
there,
underneath it just allows a little bit more heat and
how
air
much
to
you want,
sort
Brian?
of
How much
circulate
inside?
around. You get that lovely
plenty.
charred effect.
Yeah, sorry. Put it into this bowl.
OK,
glass bowl
and
there, okay?
what about the soup over here, Chef?
Soup's looking good. It's just ticking away. Is that? We'll come last minute. We'll look after that.
OK, and
This
what's in there?
stir
Leek
fry is
and-
ready, so that's okay. Pull out there.
OK.
This chicken, I'm just going to cook a little bit more. That's almost ready to go. We've got the teriyaki on there.
All right, that's cooking down
We've got the
lovely.
salad on here. We want some. Right, if you bring some herbs down, please.
OK, so what's gone into the soup, Chef? Tell me the ingredients
Into
for
the
that.
soup. Yeah, we've got leek, we've got chicken stock, we've got chicken bone, we've got sweet potato, and that's probably what we've got.
OK, all of
We'll
that's
take
going
the bone
in there.
out in a
That's going to be
second.
cooked down. Bone before you serve it. There's your breadcrumbs, Chef.
Thank
with
you,
the
Chef.
cheese. Let's get back down to Ross.
OK, so we've blanched those. That's carrots.
Yeah.
What sort of variety do you call them?
Chantenay.
Chantenay. OK, not familiar with those. Bit of butter, bit of sugar. We'll put some orange juice in there. But the clever thing we're going to do is we're going to make a cartouche to cover it rather than using a lid. Sometimes you're short of a lid. Would you be so kind to put the zest and half a juice of an orange in there, please, for me now?
Okay.
Oh, here we are, my darling. There we are.
So, and sometimes you're short of a lid for a pan or whatever.
Into the carrots, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, please, thank you.
There we are.
It's three in turn.
Yes, just
Mind your nails. Piece of paper, into half, into 4, into 8, OK?
Yeah.
Take your kitchen scissors, cut across the top, circle of paper.
There you go.
Look at that.
There you go. Round of applause. Why not? There you go.
Also good for cakes.
OK.
That's enough, darling. I'll just put
And you
some
want the
juice in.
orange juice there?
Yeah,
there we
we'll
are.
put
And the
fancy
orange juice
in
is
there.
going there too. So we've got the butter, we've got the zest of
And
the
it should
orange
just,
going
they should
there.
just cook and evaporate away. There you go.
OK, lovely. That's it,
that.
really
Super.
coming
Lovely.
together.
Thank you very
And
much.
that's the caramelised onions.
We're going to make a marmalade later. We're going to have
Okay.
braised hot pots going very nicely
Have a look
here.
at those guys. They've browned up beautifully. A little bit of sugar in there. Let that come down, and that's just you can put a bit of chilli in there if you want. throw a few herbs in there, anything you like. That's the basis of it, and the chef's going to finish that off later. All right, now, what about big money? How much can people win? You talked about £200,000 on a national scale. What's the average kind of night down there like?
An average night, you can win anything in an afternoon from 20,000 up to 200,000, like Carl says, but you can win, you know, £100 or, you know, £200, or you can go home with nothing more than you went with.
But no, don't matter, you've had a good time.
That's true.
So when you've been working, when you've been calling, how much have you had to dish out?
We've actually had two £50,000 winners within a fortnight. Just last year, there was one young girl, she was about 23. She'd only been a couple of times and scooped £50,000 on the National Bingo game.
And do they get excited? Do they jump up and down? And my mum used to jump, and my mum was quite big on top, so everything used to move.
And everybody else used to jump as well.
Everybody else used to move too. It was quite funny, actually.
Yeah, they've all got their own thing. Some people obviously are more excitable than others. Yeah.
Everybody goes for a good
That's
time.
it, yeah, you go for a generally good time with your friends.
Yeah, excellent. Now, what about this trip that he's going on? He's won what? You win the trophy, and he goes off to Vegas. You won last year, so what's it like being responsible?
I had my trip to Las Vegas last year. You get a few days in LA first, so you get to see how it's done over there, and then you get to go to Vegas, see the high life, and you get to call a game at a club out there in Vegas, which was very interesting.
It's a bit nice, and you have a little bit of a gamble too, didn't you?
Well, I mean, you have to. You're there, you must.
If you're there, go and see all the shows and
It's just a necessity.
It's an amazing place, though, isn't it?
It's fabulous.
I don't care anyone says Las Vegas is just the big, you know, the stratosphere,
that
whatever it is.
We're definitely going to go back to.
Yeah, it's just so much to do. Very, very entertaining. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about lamb over this side. We've got about, look at, how much is going in there?
Just a little bit, just to thicken that's the cooking juices. How much time have we got, Ainsley?
Oh, literally about 3 minutes.
OK, that's perfect. We put a little bit of water in there. Stock would be ideal. Normally it's cooked with stock, but I quite like wine. Wine and lamb sounds quite good. Just put a little bit of water in there just to thin it down.
OK, did you see that? A little bit of, you've got all the juices and everything else, a little bit of water, a little bit of flour that acts as a thickening agent.
Yeah, the onion contains things that are actually going to help to thicken it as well. So
OK, we've got that beautiful plum, you've got toasted sesame seeds, just toasted them off a little bit, pulling the oils out. And every nut has got oil in it, guys, OK? Every time you put a nut, you don't need to put any oil in the pan. Just leave it in a dry pan, that will naturally kind of brown beautifully.
And it improves the flavour no end.
And look at these, they're sizzling away. Look at those, they're going to glaze up really, really beautifully. So we've got our carrots, chanterelle carrots there, Vichy carrots as the chef likes to call them, and a bit of beautiful bits of meat. Let's find out what's going down here then. 2 minutes to go now, chef. All right, can I help you there?
Trying to get that.
There we are, right, that's got the
coloured there.
OK.
Have a look in that grill and see if that's all right for me underneath the grill, will you please, chef?
OK, grill, yeah, it's on, chef, and it's browning as we speak.
That's what we like.
Lovely. How you doing down there?
All right, I'm doing OK, yeah.
Oh, fabulous. So you're looking forward to Vegas? You're looking forward to the trip and everything?
I am looking forward to it very, very much. It's not just Vegas, it's Los Angeles as well.
Yeah.
So it's,
and are you able to take your family with you? Or?
Yes, I am. Very lucky. I'll take my wife with me, yes.
That's going to be a trip of a lifetime, isn't it?
It certainly is.
And you've got to be responsible for all the bingo around the country for the next year.
Well, that's right.
Good luck to you, mate.
And I get to call over there as well.
I know. Excellent. OK, let's just turn that chicken over there. Let's try and finish that off very quickly for our chef. All right, that's all coming together. OK, coming up for the minute mark any moment now, guys. Start thinking about your food, how you're going to present it. Our chef's already started here. Look, we've got the gorgeous chicken that's been cooked down in the cream sauce with the leek and everything else, the teriyaki chicken. At the moment, the chef's pulling out the sweet potatoes. They've been char-grilled, finished off in the oven. So all sorts of lovely things really coming together. Everything's out of the oven.
Is that all right in the bottom?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Right, you've got that. Have you got yourself a glass of wine yet, Carl? I haven't. Go on then, mate. Help yourself. Yeah, of course you have. Red or white. Help yourself. Let's have a look in here. Here we are. Cauliflower cheese, chef. Out. Here we are. That's looking perfect.
And a green tree on there.
OK, let's get these out of the way. All right, all gents, remember you are voting for what the chefs did with the ingredients they're given. Think about that before you hold up that card. How creative have they been? Have they deserved your vote? All right, Chervil, there we are, a little bit. Where do you want it, chef?
A tree on the plums, please.
A tree on the plums. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop! Smells good in this kitchen today. And to remind you what our chef started off with in their bags, Brian Turner had 4 chicken thighs along the large sweet potato, a whole cauliflower, some cheddar cheese, red pepper and a leek, whilst Ross Burden had lamb chump chops, a large potato, some chanterelle carrots, runner beans, plums and a large onion. Well, ladies and gentlemen, over with Ross we got some lovely lamb stew, and over with Brian we got a teriyaki chicken for you. Is that all right, eh? That sounded like the kind of theme that you use.
That's right, lingo, yeah.
Pick up your own
Sounds nothing like it.
Oh, Brian, I'm trying. You know what I mean, mate. Tell us what you're going to call it.
Well, here it comes. It's number 1. It's Kelly's Eye, it's chicken thigh.
I knew something was coming. You see?
It's delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Now, what did you do with it, Brian? How did you capture all these lovely flavours?
Well, I have to say, we had a very good bag. There was bags of it. It'd be lovely to have a bit more time. So we've got little starters here. We've got the chicken broth here, because any bit we had spare, we threw into the chicken broth. Sweet potatoes, leeks, chicken stock, bit of wine in there. We've got cauliflower cheese here made just with egg yolks and double cream in this roast pepper. That worked extremely well. This is a little cauliflower salad, olive oil, white wine vinegar, curry powder, coriander, and then just grilled warm cauliflower. Then we get to the main course. We've got this chicken in a cream sauce. It'd be nice with sherry. We've got white wine in there. We've got leeks in there. Lots of flavour, chicken stock and cream. This night, so look at the colour of that here. It's got bags of cheese on it in the breadcrumbs. It's just pan-fried. We bashed it out. It's got lemon juice, butter and parsley around the top. A little bit of the cauliflower sauce here. For the vegetarians, if they turn up, then we've got this here. We've just got sweet potatoes, cauliflower cheese. Thinking of everybody all the time. That's me.
Yeah.
And then we've got here again. Oh, he's moved. It's gone back over here. The chicken teriyaki. Look at the colours on that. It's got that charred effect. It tastes so you've got 3 fantastically different colours, different flavours. Stir fry into there. Should have put some garlic in there. Forgot.
OK, lovely.
Doesn't matter. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious.
You happy with that?
Love it.
Brilliant. There you go. All right, he's on fire. And what about you, Mandy? You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
OK, you pick up your cutlery and have a bit of a go, my love. Now, Chef, tell us what you're going to call this.
It's not just a full house we've got here, it's bingo. Come on.
Yeah, good. Does it taste nice?
That lamb's fantastic, yeah.
Yeah. And how did you make that lamb so juicy and luscious, then?
OK, well, we did 2 ways. First, we pan-fried this one, and then when it was coming out to rest, we put the plums in to absorb the flavour, some red wine vinegar, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of salt and pepper, so you've got a lovely sort of glaze there. You can see from the sugar it's going to go really glazy, which is going to go well with the red meat, on some nice buttered beans. You've got that nice linear arrangement there.
Yeah.
The other one we browned, and then we braised it with lots of onions and garlic and salt and pepper and white wine. Just cook that down nice and gently, like a hot pot. And because we didn't have time, we've got our wonderful, and if we turn these over, you'll see the pomegranates are brown on both sides. We've got these wonderful discs of potato, as Betty would make.
OK.
We took the leftover beans, we shredded them. They've been blanched very quickly, so they're not too raw, because we don't have enough time, with olive oil, orange juice, carrot, toasted sesame seed and some chervil. The carrots we blanched, and then they were done Vichy style with the orange juice and what have you, a little bit of orange, onion marmalade to go with it. So
yeah.
This just shows you how versatile most food is.
So simple, lovely, simple ingredients, but what do you think, overall opinion?
Plum sauce is fantastic.
Yeah? Will you make it? Will you have a go at it at home?
Not as good as Ross, obviously.
Oh, take him home with you, love. Take him home with you. Ross coming up the stairs. There we are. We like that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've heard about what they think of it, but what about our studio audience? Is it going to be a green pepper day or a red tomato one? Let's find out as we ask all of our audience to please vote now. And up they go. Oh, you can see today, yes, it's a green pepper day. Winner at Ready, Steady, Cook. It's all going to you, isn't it, Carl?
Oh, it's fantastic. The year continues.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic time in Las Vegas.
Thank you very much.
Spending money there.
Oh, great.
And good luck. I really hope it goes well for you, my man. Pleasure having you on the programme.
Thank you.
Thanks very much indeed, Chef.
Cheers now.
Always a pleasure. Well, there you go. It's his turn, isn't it, eh, darling?
Can't win all the time.
You can't win all the time. You're going home with that knowledge of that lovely plum sauce. Thank you for coming along. And you have the beautiful Ready, Steady, Cook hamper.
Oh, there you go.
Eh? That's going to be a bit of a treat in your kitchen. Worthwhile indeed. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's been fantastic.
Thanks for coming and telling us all about, you know, what's happening in the bingo halls of the world. It's great.
Thank you very much.
Bingo halls of Britain.
Indeed.
Absolute pleasure.
Couldn't
Lovely
have lost
to
to
have
a more
you.
talented man.
There we are. Come and join us
done,
over
Carl.
here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's quickie bag time. So a very big thank you to Carl and Mandy. Come on in, boys. Come on. Let's see what our lads can do with this little lot. Right.
Oh, hallelujah.
It's a bit of a veggie bag today, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the lovely soba buckwheat noodles, delicious. If you haven't tried them before, even if you're not veggie, they really are lovely. We've got some ginger, fresh ginger stemmed, and of course the bean shoots there. Big bag of cashew nuts, tofu, OK, bean curd there, the pomelo, which is very similar to a grapefruit, not as juicy, but very much in the same sort of style, and some salad onions. Well,
I don't think I should bother talking about this. That is so built for you, is that?
It is, yeah.
Well, you've got to have a go, though,
Oh,
Brian.
no, I'm going to have a go, yeah.
Right, what do you
cocktail.
think?
Shall I go first,
Why
then?
not? You wow these wonderful people.
Pomelo we'll make a salad out of. It's not as it's a bit drier than a grapefruit. We'll make a salad out of that and dress that with a gingery soy sort of dressing. We often dress it with coconut milk. We don't have anything like that. We'll also grind a few sesame seeds into that with some of the ginger. We'll deep fry the tofu in cubes, and we'll dress that again with ginger juice, a little soy, some of the spring onions, a little scallion, and some chives. We can make a broth of soba noodles with soy and stock. And seeing there's so many cashew nuts there, it might be quite nice to deep fry some cashew nuts as well, actually. Toss them in salt. If we had time, we could make spring onion pancakes. I mean, it's my menu, really, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, will you put your red... Oh, sorry. Sorry, Brian. And what about you, Chef?
Well, grapefruit cocktail. Oranges, I could do Florida cocktail. Yeah. Actually, we could probably cut it in half. We could char grill part with a bit of some kind of spice on top of it. We could take the rest out, make a little herb scallion salad with a few bean shoots. We could stir fry the tofu with the bean shoots. Why don't you do it?
Well, there you go. So our chef's given us one or two ideas. Is he right? Has Brian given them enough information to capture this vote?
Pomelo Mornay.
Yes.
Let's find out. OK, audience, what's it going to be? Green peppers or red tomatoes? Will you all please vote now?
I love them.
Well, Brian, I'm sorry to say, mate. Do you think you weren't going to come to work this morning?
I was almost there.
Hey, it's a Ross Burton bag. Let's get cooking. OK, Chef, your 10 minutes cooking time starts now. Let's do it.
Brian, if you'd be so kind as to do the fiddly stuff. Half deep-fried, half grilled, please. Julienne, and half gin julienne and half juice, please. OK, if you can manage that.
Lovely. What can I do for you, Chef?
If you could segment that for me, please, and deal with the spring onions.
Here we are. I'll do it down here.
Okay.
I like being nice and close to you, Ross. You know that.
Green shredded, white chopped, please.
OK, no problem.
OK, need to get some hands on with some hot water.
And what are you going to be starting with, Ross?
Sorry, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I'm going to put all the rest of it together and do the dressings.
Beautiful. And if you have a look here, tell us a little bit more about the old pomelo. I said at the top, it's not as juicy as a grapefruit, but
it's much
a
milder, it's not sour.
Malaysian or Asian type...
Generally Southeast Asian. So,
yeah.
you know, it's across from, goes everywhere from sort of Vietnam, Laos, all the way down to Malaysia.
OK, very much associated with the citrus family, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sort of the biggest of the citrus family. I'm going to next some water for Brian. It's a pink one. Normally the green. It's a very nice light thing to have for breakfast. It's often made into salads, and we normally do it with a coconut dressing, a red curry coconut dressing in Thailand.
OK.
It's delicious, delicious stuff.
All right, and in between that little membrane here, all I'm doing is kind of...
Sorry, it's one of those things that
out.
started to sort of appear, you know, in the supermarkets. It's not as... Used to be you had to go to a Chinese supermarket to buy them, and now they seem to be quite everywhere.
I know, they are. Is that a good thing, you think, Ross?
Oh, completely. I mean, I do believe in buying British and having as few food miles as possible, but it is quite nice to pep, you know, British produce up with a few things from abroad as well.
And what about you, Brian? Have you ever used pomelos? Is it something that you consider?
Played tennis with them once. No, not really. I mean, I've had them, but it's not something I use very often.
I played tennis with
Also, no, that was Pamela.
I'd say that's quite a small one, Ainsley.
Yeah.
They grow to being quite big chaps.
Is that the same family? Is it ugly fruit and?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A couple of minutes gone already now, boys. OK, and what about the old bean curd that you're chopping up? Tell us a little bit about that, Ross.
Well, this is nice firm bean curd, so it's good for frying. It should puff up a little bit.
And so you can get different varieties, some of them much softer.
Some silk and some's not. I'm just trying not to have 4 pieces. 4 is a very bad luck number, so I'm cutting the rest up, and that's going to go into our broth with our soba noodles. The thing about Asian food is being organised. I'm going to be a little bit organised over here. I'm going to do a lovely... once the soba is cooked, we can do a cold salad with it as well. That's why soba is so good. They make great broth, and they also make... Normally use udon, And they've got funny names, I know, but once you get used to using these things, they really are...
Udon's a thick white variety,
yeah,
isn't
they're
it?
made from rice flour. This is made from buckwheat. Buckwheat's the same grain as makes blinis in Russia.
There you go. OK, all sorts of information. Isn't it nice, guys? Hey, when you tune into the programme, you also get some information about fruits, where they come from, that type of stuff. OK, right, they're cooked. Now, you want me to shred these up, did you say?
Shred the green and slice the white, please.
OK, lovely. So, what's it? Is this a traditional... Because I've actually seen when I go to all those sort of Asian countries, they have this type of thing available for breakfast. Is it something you'd probably...
Yeah, bacon and eggs is not that popular in the South, in South Asia.
Yeah. So they will have noodles for breakfast,
yeah, quite often. When I was in Vietnam earlier last year, the traditional breakfast is called pho, with P-H-O circumflex, but it's a rich, deep broth, and the broths they make for ages. It's wonderful stuff.
OK.
And it's flavoured either with beef or chicken, but it's noodles and very deep broth. It's a very good way to start the day, actually.
There you go. OK.
Let's say, pho, strange enough, comes from the French word feu, meaning fire, because the French were there for a long time, and they used to make the broth overnight and just leave it to sit. In the same way that curfew comes from the French curfew, which is to cover the fire, which is when you went to bed.
Oh, wow.
He's a clever lad, isn't he?
He is. He's got all sorts of information. It's always interesting.
A good imagination.
Good imagination. Now, tell us about dipping the tofu into flour. Now, traditionally, I like to sort of dip it through a kind of few spices and stuff like that and sort of bake it off in the oven. Why are you doing that?
Well, the point of this dish is that we want to keep it, keep the flavour of tofu. I know most people think it's very bland, but this one actually, because it's slightly aged, has some flavour to it. So we're going to dress it with a ginger and lime and soy dressing. So we want to keep it nice and plain, so we're not going to interfere with that flavour.
OK,
also,
lovely.
the dipping in the corn flour just means that you get a bit more of a crust, and it just protects it slightly as well.
OK, and it should be corn flour instead of plain flour, should it?
Just for that lighter sort of fluffy.
When
you dip chicken in corn flour and then poach it very briefly, we call it velveting, and it gives it for stir-frying.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Is that enough?
That's perfect.
Lovely, julienne. We call that julienne in the tray. Beautiful strips of ginger there. And we have a cooking question, which comes courtesy of Yvonne Howe from Holland, all the way from Holland. Good afternoon to you, Yvonne. She says, can you give me some advice as how I can make my own dumplings? What about, are you a bit of a dumpling man, Ross?
I think the man to talk to is your man over there.
The Yorkshireman.
The Yorkshireman, exactly.
Oh, go on then, chef. Good old dumplings. Suet dumplings
just a
or
bit
what?
of flour, suet, water, and then something to just season it up. Horseradish works well in there, chopped capers. Depends what meat you're serving it with.
Yeah.
But just make sure it's nice, good flour, self-raising flour, perhaps some of the baking powder in there, just to give it a bit of lift, and drop it into a good liquor when you're cooking it. Fantastic. That's the best dumpling.
Boiling liquor. So what do you say, liquor, chef? Good stock then,
Stock. It's all about flavour, and it's only flour and suet, so you want to just lift the flavour as much as you can.
OK. Lovely. Is that julienne enough for you then, chef?
That's absolutely perfect.
Strips.
Thank you very much.
OK, we've got lovely little strips. We've got some rings of onion there. I hope that answers your question, Yvonne. It really is. As Brian says, you want to introduce flavour into them. You can put little flecks of something into the dumplings, but of course you've got a sweet dumpling. Tell us a little about sweet dumplings then, Ross.
Well, I guess you're talking about beignet, the fried ones. They're more sort of fluffy fried ones, really, aren't they? I have to say I'm not a pastry chef, again, but I know there are things called buñuelos and there are churros, which are things that in Mexico we make, which are like, you pipe it into the hot oil and then toss them. They're sort of almost like dumplings.
It's more like making a sort of a roux type, not a roux,
almost choux, actually,
A choux, that's the one I was looking for. Chef, what about flavourings for those? Do you want some nice coriander? We're talking...
Coriander would be super.
And a bit of mint?
Mint is very good, yep.
OK, coriander and mint.
More Vietnamese, that's great.
All right,
How dry roasted do you want these?
Yeah, just lovely, that's great. And just chopped roughly, thank you, yeah. That's just to bring the flavour in, but the deep fried ones are going to be really lovely.
OK, I've got some coriander here, and I've also got some nice fresh mint. All of these are just lovely.
Probably slightly better kept as leaves rather than...
the stalk?
Yeah, thank you.
OK, no
problem. Rather than chopped.
All right, just the leaves in there. OK, chef, no problem.
OK.
Now, Brian, what are you getting up to there, chef? You've been toasting your nuts, I see, over there. So what have you actually done with them?
I've got some chilli on some of them. I'm not sure that's going to be too good. Yeah, we just deep-fried the nuts, then we got salt, pepper and chilli. Then I've just dry roasted these, and I forgot to put chilli on those as well. But very tasty.
Lovely. OK.
I'm just going to make some ginger juice here.
OK.
Can you use that ginger trimming, chef?
I did take them, thank you.
Oh, good, OK.
OK, I've got this all torn up. Do you want them in there with the pomelo?
No, we'll have a little mint and spring onion in there, a little bit of white. We'll have some coriander only in there, and coriander only in there.
OK, that's it. It's good that I've mixed it already then, isn't it?
Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's all right, Chef, don't worry about it. That's it, a little bit of that's it. And just tear those up. Beautiful, lots of lovely fresh.
And how much ginger juice do you want, Chef?
A couple of tablespoons, if you could.
OK, yeah, I can do that.
OK, got some onion rings going through here. Really make that nice. What about the... Oh, you got the sesame seed there. Do you want sesame seed in here, Chef?
Yeah, that's going to have cashews in it, that one.
OK.
And so's the one with the sprouts in the front. OK, that's
So we've got cashews,
nicely.
all sorts of nuts used, and they tend to incorporate lots of nuts into Asian-style cooking, and it really is... Not only are you adding protein, you're adding a different type of texture, so when you bite into it, you get the soft, the smooth, the crunchy, all those type of things going on. All right, lovely. All coming together. Right, how about those nuts? Can I take some of them, Chef?
Yeah. Moses.
OK, here we are. All right, both of them with lots of nuts, cashews going in here and there. Beautiful.
OK, that tossed up, let go on a plate. Soba noodles need dressing.
OK. That's all sort of tossing together. We've got about 45 seconds now.
Lovely.
All right, then. And what type of dressing do you want on here, Chef?
Just some, I can give you some lime juice.
OK, bit of lime
and
juice.
Sesame oil, a little soy. Ginger juice. Thank you so much.
Juice.
That's
there
great.
you go. Bit of lime juice going in there. Anything's going to be deep fried or not?
No, it's all done.
OK. Bit more lime juice. Sesame soy. Sesame. Here we are.
Thank you. Fried cashew nuts.
20 seconds.
Go in one of those bowls over there. Thanks, Brian.
There you go. A little bit of soy sauce. Here we go now. Help me count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop!
Absolutely.
Such a lovely, simple way of sort of eating food, really. Tell us how you... Well, first, I need a name, of course, Ross.
Sprouts. I've had a few. Then again, tofu to mention.
Oh, no.
Oh, clever, 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 clever. I like that. Tell us what you do with your ingredients.
OK, first of all, the tofu, I guess, is the hero. We took it and it doesn't need marinating because we tossed it in the corn flour, deep fried it. You can see it's gone fluffy. That's dressed with soy and ginger juice, a little fish sauce if we had some, spring onions, coriander, what have you. It's very light, and the lightness is going to absorb.
Actually, lots of lovely protein in there, too.
The rest of the tofu we put into the broth. Now, the broth is chicken stock flavoured with the spring onion trimmings, garlic, Brian's garlic ginger trimmings. Boil it up, pour it over the cooked noodles. There's also spring onions in there. It's incredibly good for you. Spring onions and what have you.
Not much time. Tell us briefly about the noodles.
So cooked soba noodles with spring onions and cashews and what have you for flavour. Pomelo salad again. It's those really fresh things, and I dressed it with lots of ginger juice. Ginger juice is something you should all get used to. Ginger juice, soy, and sesame makes anything bland taste fantastic. And obviously we have the deep fried cashews as well, which are delicious.
Wonderful, wonderful. All available on our website, ladies and gentlemen. And I promised you a chance to win a beautiful £300 gourmet hamper today. And, of course, our lovely Leslie has got the question for you. Over to you, Les.
Lasagna traditionally comes from which country? Is it A, Morocco, B, Thailand, C, Italy? To be in with a chance of winning, call 0901 1110 810. That's 0901 1110 810. Lines close at midnight and calls cost 25p.
Whoa, one of you are going to win a wonderful hamper. Ladies and gentlemen, lots of you can find out how to make this lovely food. As I said, check out CFAX, our website. From Brian, Ross and myself, see you soon on Ready, Steady, Cook. Bye-bye.